Hi folks, we hope you'll enjoy the upcoming answers to this hot question. When is the right time to tell the dog that it was adopted? My dog is biological, so I don't know. I never watched anime, but Ed Ward. Oh no. I'm having some bad flashbacks from this comment. Whenever I see a dog with extremely long fur, I get reminded of that scene. I don't think it's necessary unless the dog starts asking questions and wondering. Some have a strong desire to try and find their biological parents, but many more are content to just enjoy their family and their environment. Oh, and licking their butt too. Bark. Bark. Woof. I've never told him and never will. I've been implanting memories in him by telling him all about when I was pregnant with him, how I had hoped I'd be having a puppy, and the muffled woofs we would hear while waiting for the special day. Strange. I had a no-lying policy with my actual children, but I'll lie to my dog at the drop of a hat. It's okay, you are allowed to treat them differently. Lying to your children can make a poor relationship. That's not good. However, lying to your dog can make a paw relationship. Now I don't know what that is, but it sounds super cute. Tell them when they are mature. Tell them sit, and once they are seated, tell them politely, with a treat in hand, you were adopted. It is an important step when raising a dog. If they eat the treat, you know they're okay with it. My poor boy cried and yelped for 10 minutes when I told him. Did he eat the treat though? We threw him an adoption day party every year with Clifford decorations, presents, treats and a cake from 3 Dog Bakery. We invited all his doggy and people friends. He knew. We made a real special wish, and you came true. This is the most adorable thing I've heard. Mine already knew by the time I got him home, and he'd gotten used to his new abode. He was already old enough to understand that he was in an orphanage, and he was in there a while by the time I arrived. It took him time to adjust, but he's happy. This is literally the cutest comment on this thread. We haven't told our cat yet, but I think he's starting to suspect. PFTT, I'm pretty sure cats think that they're gods, and it's morally likely that they've adopted you. Oh, absolutely. I love cats, BTW. They move in, and then they say, I will graciously allow you to continue to live in my domicile. My newest is almost 2, and honestly I think it would crush her to know she's adopted. Thankfully we're so much alike that it's not too obvious. Maybe it's the wrong choice and I'm being deceptive, but I'm never going to tell her. I just don't have it in me to broach that subject. Although I'm very male, I do believe she believes that I birthed her all on my own, and I'm going to keep it that way. You sir are setting your dog up to be traumatized and will have lingering anger / resentment / abandonment issues and who knows what else. No offense. Tell her. Now. Listen to some stories of adoptees. It's heartbreaking to be lied to for decades. It's not love, it's not protection. Don't disguise it as love either. The only thing it can be called is manipulation. All a competent parent needs to do is talk to their adopted puppy and continue to build on it as they grow. It's like building a house, lay the foundation first. Always be honest and truthful in developmentally appropriate increments. Seriously, it's not that hard. Have some pride and love, not deceit and shame. It'll keep her in the family without blame or games. It's manipulation, control and oppression of a dog's identity when you say you will never tell her. They are entitled to their origins and medical history just as much as anyone else in this world. If you think otherwise, you're selfish and misguided. Lying to your dog was for your best interest, not hers. If you think the truth will change the relationship you have with your puppy, then wait until you see it get obliterated by the fact that you deliberately kept the truth from her. I just sat him down and told him. He seems to be taking it pretty well. He just kept trying to get pets from my mom. Maybe that means the dog thinks you are the adopted one. When he's old enough to know who's a good boy. No one's a good boy in this hellscape. Start around the age of 1 till 7 in dog years, using simple terms that pups can understand. As they grow, you can go into more detail and use a more mature vocabulary. You absolutely want them to know ASAP for a number of medical reasons, for example, that you will be an unlikely match for a bone marrow transplant. I still haven't told mine even after other 3rd graders made fun of him. You are setting your dog up to be traumatized. And will have lingering issues and who knows what else. No offense. Tell him. Now. Listen to some stories of adoptees. It's heartbreaking to be lied to for decades. It's not love, it's not protection. Don't disguise it as love either. The only thing it can be called is manipulation. All a competent parent needs to do is talk to their adopted puppy and continue to build on it as they grow. It's like building a house, lay the foundation first. Always be honest and truthful in developmentally appropriate increments. Seriously, it's not that hard. Have some pride and love, not deceit and shame. It'll keep her in the family without blame or games. It's manipulation, control and oppression of a dog's identity when parents deliberately do this. They are entitled to their origins and medical history just as much as anyone else in this world. If you think otherwise, you're selfish and misguided. Lying to your dog was for your best interest, not his. I really hope my dog doesn't remember anything before I adopted him. He was a stray in Los Angeles and was picked up with multiple BBs embedded under the skin on his head/torso, and he was super underweight, and I'm just gonna continue to let him believe he's lived his whole life in a house with a bunch of comfortable beds, 2 meals a day, and too many treats, and all the toys he could ever want. Having come from the streets at a young age, Biz Markie knew he had been abandoned by his birth parents. Weeks of searching for them went by. Living on garbage and puddle water, he came to realize it was no use and he was on his own. Until the day she stopped to say hello, offering a tiny morsel of the only food she carried. With some hesitation, he decided to trust this lady. After all, she had little food but did not hesitate to help a cat down on his luck. After a short car ride, warm bath, and a more food than he could ever imagine existed, Biz Markie knew he'd found the parents he'd been looking for all along. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.